Hello, cave dwellers. How are we? Let's get the levels right. Let's turn the silly voices off. How are we all doing? Am I coming through loud and clear? Voice loud enough? Music quiet enough? Yes, we got the Scotch egg intro in there for you, Pillock. I knew you'd like that. Yeah, so as you can guess, I've figured out where the silly voices are on the mixing desk. Which is quite handy as it's a racing episode. It's all about the racing games. We can have some
Murray Walker! Go, go, go!
How are we doing? We got Paul, we got Monty, we've got Super Grover, Jacob, Tim, Costado, Derek from Flame Lily, Fred Bednarski. Thank you. This jumper was sent to me last year actually by, you know, those guys all over Twitter that do the jumpers. Hang on, let me check the label. Numbskull Designs. That's the ones. I've got a Street Fighter 2 one as well. And you know, it's Christmas. I know I've got no decorations up because as you can see, the great packing up of the cave has begun. Hello, Dean. Everything's in boxes. The shelves are all ready to be loaded up and go. Yeah. The only thing that's still working is the stream PC. Thank you, Flame Lily. I don't know why it's blocked that message. All you said was, that suits you, Neil. And your message was blocked. You're being too nice. So, look, today is quite incredible because we've got the most number of submissions ever sent in for a monthly live stream. We've got 20 to get through. We've got a good half hour of your racing game submissions. We've got some first time submitters, so I'm really looking forward to seeing. Yeah, it does feel odd, John, but I'm really looking forward to getting into the new cave. We're at a point now where just gotta iron out, you know, dot the I's, cross the T's, sign the contract, and we're in. That's how close we are, which is why I'm confident enough to box everything up. So I think next week, I've got another live show for you next week, actually. Because of the way things are in the cave, I can't really make anything at the moment, but I've got a great opportunity to do a live show on Tuesday next week. And I haven't shared this with anyone yet, and there's no reason why I can't tell you what that is now. We are going to be the live launch party, if you like, with a direct link to Stephen Jones's office. And he's going to launch live his new Checkmate case, which we've got a preview of. We've seen the 3D renders on the cave before, in the cave, but we haven't seen the actual finished thing. So on Tuesday, we're going to have a live stream. He's going to launch the Kickstarter. He's going to show us the finished cases. And hopefully he's recorded a few tours of where he does all this stuff now. You know, lockdown and the pandemic and everything being what it is, it's just safer to do it remotely. But we've talked about it, and I think he's going to put together a few videos for us so we can see that, and then it'll be a chance for you guys to all pitch any questions to him. What can I put in this case? How much is it? How much is it? You know, questions like that. But we love Stephen, and I'm really happy to be in a position to be able to help him out, and that he's chosen the cave to be his launch party. So it's going to be awesome. Hopefully I'll see you there. I'll put the listing up on the main RMC page, probably on Monday. So there we go. What we're doing today, if you're new here, we will go quickly over what we've done for the last month in the cave. What the hell have you been doing, Neil? Let's just look back, because things are all a blur here. I make videos, I chuck them out, I move on to the next one. So it's nice to look back and get your thoughts on them sometimes. We've got those 20 videos to go through. We've got a little bit of unboxing to go through. I specifically said no to people last month. I said just hold back on any donations because of the office move. But saying that, a massive box arrived today. So if Gary, I don't know if Gary's in the chat, not emergency Gary, another Gary, he sent 2 huge boxes, and then we got some little things to unbox. So, and all my magazines are boxed up. I know Pillock likes to have a magazine read to him when he gets tucked up, just before he goes to bed. We tuck him in, and then we read him a magazine. We are going to do that, but we're going to do it online from archive.org because all my magazines are packed away. The cave looks a bit like an East German grocery store, says Castano. You know, the funny thing is, in 1990, my dad came home from doing some work in Germany, and he presented me proudly with a West Germany football shirt. I think they knocked us out of the World Cup that year. That was Italy, wasn't it? Thanks, Dad. Like I won't get beaten up wearing that in the playground. So let's go over to the laptop view. Hello, Stephen. Laptop. Here we are. Yeah, what a present, exactly. So in the last month, on public release, we had that interview with Mark Ferrari 4 weeks ago. One of my favourite interviews ever. And what that interview did, I've been sat on it for a while, partly because it was so long. It took a long time to, what's that saying? Knocked you out of the World Cup. Scotland were just Scotland. Yeah, Mark's interview was like 2 hours long. It took quite a while to edit, but also I wanted to release it at the same time that I started delivering the Kickstarter book. This beautiful thing here. Let's show you that. I know a lot of you have actually got this. And thank you so much to everyone who's backed it. It's here, the final bound book. We've got the lovely binding and the ribbon. Don't judge a book by its cover. And could I turn the music down a bit? Yeah, sure. There we go. Is that a little bit better for you? Oh, I've just realised I've got all the echo, all the reverb on the music. So that wasn't helping things. And then in the middle, the cover is nice. Oh, Costado, I sent yours at the weekend, so it should be with you anytime soon. Any minute soon. In the middle, we've got the lovely pull-out portraits. Now, there was a commission level where 60 people got their portraits done by Stu Cambridge of Sensible Software. Stu is now setting up his own website. And, well, he's had his own website for a long time, but he's actually going to put commissions up on his website. So if you feel like you missed out, you can actually soon get your own commission, your own portrait from Stu. And I think he's done a great job with them. What is the book about? The book is it's based on my tea break interviews. It's 14 interviews with... well, I'll read you the title. In Conversation with Computer and Video Game Pioneers. So it was great to get that out. It was a Herculean effort this month to actually post them. There were days when I had 60 bags of mail to load up onto the van. 2,000 books. It was. I think it was a ton of books that I moved. I packed them all. I shipped them all. Ugh. It was quite emotional to get the last one out, just because I didn't realise how much it was weighing on me to get them into your hands, to deliver within the time frame. Thank you, Richard, for that link. To deliver within the time frame of November, as I'd promised. It was an effort. It was a bigger effort than I realised at the time. Yes, Pillock. Anyway, we had our good friend Mark from Mark Fixes Stuff came and we did the monstrous Sega Dreamcast mod, which was, we just put so many things into this Dreamcast. This is probably the video that I've had the most footage ever. We filmed so much, and actually it was way too much, and I had to get it down into something that you could actually watch. And a couple of people said, can we see more of the work being done? I think it took us 2 days to film that, and I have got the footage. I've got like 200 gig of footage from this. But the result was great. The only sad thing about this was it was Mark's. He took it home with him. All that work and he took it home with him. Yes, Derek, Mark is very disciplined when he comes to the cave. He's under a strict no innuendo rule. But every now and then he slips one in. And then we began the Amiga 600 series. Now, the patrons have seen episode 3, so they've seen the complete series. My therapy with the 600, and do you know what? I don't think it will spoil it if I tell anyone. By the end of episode 3, I do very much like the 600. You can already see it by episode 2. I still stand by my assessment that it was terrible in 1993. But in the modern day, as long as you recap it, it's a great choice of machine. And I learned a lot through that series, what you can and can't do with it. Custado says it's still a half-baked machine. Yeah, I mean, the 1200, is that what you would go for, Custado? Next time, Alan, next time. And then we had the wonderful Orpheus and Dream Blaster X2, a sound card which will remain firmly in my PC. Absolutely love that sound card. Sounds amazing. I put it out a day early because we've got the live stream Tuesday that I mentioned, so I just wanted to give it a bit of air, because sometimes a live stream usually gets far less views than a normal video. So if you don't have a big enough gap and you release another video, it just kind of kills all the momentum you've got from the other video. So I thought, let's just get it out there, release it early. And as it would happen, good old Clint over at LGR released a review of the same card just hours after I released mine. So, I would hate to have been accused of copying him. Not that anyone for a second would believe that I'd put together a full review and edited it within a day. But, if you're interested in the card, watch mine and also go and watch Clint's, because we love what he does. Jimbo, the 600 was my first Amiga, so I have no option but to love it. Namco's, the naming convention of the 600 is just ridiculous. It was originally called the 300, as John says. Clint can do what he likes. So that's what's been going on in the cave. In addition to that, I've told you about the book. I've got a new store, rmcretro.store. I used to be on Etsy, but oh god, look at that ugly mug. So my store's here. So if you want to buy the book, I have got some excess books left over from the Kickstarter, so you can pick one up there. I've also got the next batch of Hoffman records, so you can pick yourself up a Hoffman record or a window sticker. That's all I've got on there at the moment. But now that I've got this set up and it's on my own platform, I'm going to start adding products to this. So, merchandise, but also I'd really like to find some nice toolkits, tools, accessories, maybe some 3D printed mounts and parts, and just useful things that you can't find anywhere else. So, Etsy's gone. So rmcretro.store is the place to go if you want to buy anything RMC, and that will grow in time. So that's what's been going on in the cave. We've also had the 4 episodes of This Week in Retro, the podcast you heard on the intro. Just search for This Week in Retro on your podcast app if you want to subscribe to that. It's becoming more and more fun to make those podcasts with John, and I'd like to think we're sounding more and more natural, and that you can hear that we're having more fun as the episodes go on. There's a lot more improvisation goes on than now that we're episode 17, than we're in the early episodes. We were quite sort of read the script, but now it's a lot more relaxed, and hopefully that comes across. Tickets to visit the new cave, that all depends on the pandemic. RMC socks, make it happen. Thank you, Tim. I'm glad you enjoy it. Mankini, maybe. Now let's get stuck into your videos, because we've got so many of them. I'm using the wrong keyboard, Neil. It's on the laptop. Would you like the ident again before we go into your videos? I know Pillock would. This is for you, Pillock. Okay. We're starting with Brian is going to be our first video. I may just have to start and stop it just to make sure we've got the volume right. Let's stop the music. Music is stopped. Book bought from your new site. Thank you, John. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. I'll be shipping the outstanding orders for the books this weekend. Let's see what Brian's got for us. So remember, the theme is racing games this month. Now, we've got the volume up. Yes. So that's Brian. I need to unmute the laptop. And if you're wearing headphones, hopefully I won't blow your ears out.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Brian, did we sneak up on you? Did we catch you by surprise?
Brian here, or if you prefer me to use my proper title, The Brian. I have about 90 seconds to spare, so I thought I'd talk about one of my favourite genres of games.
This is The Brian. Okay, The Brian. It's nice to put a face to your name. This is The Brian from our Discord chat. Hello, The Brian.
To dip into when you've got time, the racing game. I of course mean the retro racing game, including the very first racing game I've ever owned myself, RMC Pro-Am on the Nintendo, or as it's known as today, the NES. Now, if I can just figure out where this cartridge goes.
There it is.
RMC Pro-Am. Now, this was made by Rare, and the story of this is you control a remote control car around a little track while avoiding obstacles and picking up power-ups. I mean, it sounds a little derivative of itself, but you have to remember that when this came out in 1988, a lot of these were brand new features. The game itself, I don't know if it's that well known. There was a sequel released a few years later, which to tell you the truth, I only found out about when Rare Replay was...
So what was the sequel, Rock and Roll Racing? Was that related? Or was that just completely unrelated? Because I think that was Rare as well. Maybe he'll tell us.
Released in 2015. A version for the Nintendo 64 was cancelled, reskinned, and ultimately released under the name Diddy Kong Racing. But despite that, I personally think that its fingerprints can be seen in a lot of the casual racing games that came along later, including one I want to talk about now. No, not this one. That one. Micro Machines 2 on the Sega Mega Drive, where you get to control tiny vehicles around the house or pretend to be Violet Berlin from Bad Influence. Now, this game really holds up in my opinion. The cartoony graphics, the music, I mean, it's all great, but the unique selling point of this was the additional 2 controller slots on the cartridge itself, which allowed 4-player simultaneous couch gaming without having to purchase any multi-taps or anything like that.
Yeah, some of the best multiplayer gaming experiences with that cartridge. All sat on a sofa playing Micro Machines 4-player. Incredible.
All you just needed was four controllers. Now, all I need now is 3 more people to join my social isolation bubble. So, anyone?
Aww, Brian's got no friends.
Brian, what a way to make your entrance into the RMC monthly streams. I could listen to you talk all day. I love the accent, love the voice, love the presentation. Great choice of games. Well done, Brian. Let's go on to our good friend Rich. See what he's got for us. By the way, RC Pro-Am, it's a great game. I didn't realise it was the first, or considered to be the first to give us that isometric racing perspective. So I've learned something there.
I do enjoy a nice relaxing drive in the country.
Rich, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
But wait, I need to make an RMC video pretty quick.
There he is. Okay. This is Rich, who is in the chat with his Ford Capri.
I do enjoy a nice relaxing drive in the country. But wait, I need to make an RMC video pretty quickly.
Promoting the record.
Sometimes you see a game and just buy it, even though you haven't read a review.
Now, we have to stop because Rich gets points for the RMC calendar up on the wall, which remind me to tell you about later. What else has he got? The Monster joystick, the RMC book and mug, last year's calendar. I can't see a tape measure, Rich. Have we stopped doing tape measures now? And that lovely Gravis joystick as well, and an Arcade R joystick.
That happened with Screamer Rally. Turned out to be a really, really good game.
Ooh, Screamer Rally. This is Screamer 1. Okay, I think I saw Chrissy, Gary, Andrew. Hang on, who else did we see there? Sorry, there's faces flashing up. Let's see who we can spot. See if I can stop it on one. Well, that's Rich. That was Grange Hill. What was that? I'm going to have to go back over this later. That was me. That was Control Alt Reese. That was Howard from Dubious Engineering. There's Andrew. We've stopped it on Andrew. That was Gary. Chrissy, I give up. I give up. Dave was there.
And then, when you go and follow it up with a sequel, it's equally as good.
Now this was my game. This was my Screamer. With the 3D effects gun.
My choice for today has to be Screamer Rally. And now, back to Elmo in the studio. I mean, Neil.
I haven't got Elmo, Rich. Elmo's been packed in a box. Yeah. Poor Elmo. Well, has he? Hang on. Is he there? Elmo. No, Elmo's in a box. Oh, he'll be back soon. Thank you, Rich. Great video. Screamer 2 was my Screamer. I need to play Screamer Rally. But Screamer 2 really nailed that kind of Sega Rally drifting feeling in a way that other games hadn't before. And it was really nice to see that finally come to the PC. Next, it's JB, which is Johnny, who I think is in the chat.
Hello, this is Johnny Blanchard from Reinfuse.
Let's stop the music. It seems to not bring you up when I click on the file, so we just have these disembodied voices. Here we go, Johnny. Good to see you again this month. There he is, re-enthused. That's Johnny in the chat. Hello, Mr. Lurch. And Mr. Lurch, the theme this month is driving games. Here's Johnny.
Hello, this is Johnny Blanchard from Reinfuse, and I'm here to talk about Star Speeder, a 1985 game for the really unknown, pretty much, or lesser known 8-bit machine, the Epoch Super Cassette Vision. It's one of my favourite machines.
Epoch Super Cassette Vision. Tell us more.
Especially of that era. And this is a fantastic game for it, a fantastic racing game. Right, and this is the game. There's a couple of tracks to choose from. That's Fantasy and Adventure. Competition A and B just kind of loops through them with different difficulties. So if we let's choose Fantasy Course, and then we just push the fire button to start. So there's 2 buttons on the joypad, so this one fires.
So look at that. I've never seen one of these. The controller doesn't look the best, I have to say, but it's an interesting looking machine, and you've got a numeric keypad on there as well.
This one accelerates, and basically the idea is you just got to keep accelerating.
Yeah, so do I, RoboJohn. Johnny, do you cover this on your channel? Have you covered this machine? If so, say something, and then everyone... There you go, he's done a video on it. So everyone click on Re-Enthused, go and subscribe and you'll see videos about machines like this on Johnny's channel. Do it now.
Because if you don't, you won't make the time. It's a time track thing. You've got to get to the end within that certain time. So the time we have to beat is 1 minute 19. And you do that by just keeping your speed going. But it's just a lovely game for its time. The graphics are really nice to look at. The sound's pretty good. But that's it. I mean, it's a very simple game, but it's so fast and it's so fluid. And it really reacts really well considering what it's throwing around. Oh, no. Here, we went off the track, so we lost our speed. And you really do, you feel it when you get to the end of the game and you actually make the time. There is a sense of relief. And there we go.
Thank you, Johnny. Like power drift in space. I'm quite impressed with that. So yeah, do go and check out Johnny's channel for stuff like that. Thank you. It's always nice to see completely, stuff I've never seen before. You guys teach me so much. You like the button placement, Robo John? Yeah. There you go. You've got a new sub in Custado. Well done, everyone. Giving Johnny an RMC hug, and he deserves it. Now, in the chat, we have Matthew, our motivational speaker over on Discord. He is the self-confessed motivational speaker. Hello there, Jim. There's no going back now, Jim. The video's in the queue. Here is Matthew, our motivational speaker.
When Neil said racing games, the first thing I thought of was Wacky Wheels, an obvious clone of Super Mario Kart released for MS-DOS in 1994. Fond memories came rushing back of hours spent driving around tiny little racetracks and shooting hedgehogs at my opponents. My name is Matthew, and this is my return to a game I haven't played since I was 12.
Now, this is a game I completely forgot about and did play a lot back in the day. There seemed to be this race to copy Mario Kart on the PC, and we had a few duds, but this one was pretty good.
One thing I remembered as soon as I saw it was these menus, and the way when you press down, the hedgehogs bounce up first, making you think they're about to go the wrong way. Every single time. Thanks a lot for that. Once in the game, it's a delightful mess of pixels, never quite giving you enough time to appreciate all the beauty, but gradually you begin to notice all the different hedgehog pickups, how every driver makes their own noises when they get close to another car. Hang on, they're actually racing lawnmowers. Whatever. Other charming touches include the little periscope you turn into when you go into some water, and the cracked camera lens that results from a startlingly fatal collision with a fragile-looking bulrush. I can't say I'm very good at this game. I can't say that I ever really was very good at this game, but it filled happy hours in the mid-90s for one SNES-deprived child.
Yeah, I mean, it has managed to nail that Mode 7 look from the SNES, hasn't it? But it's not that smooth.
And in that, I think we can say that it accomplished its purpose. It just took until 2020 for me to actually pay for it. The joys of shareware.
Filthy pirate. Thank you, Matthew. That's a wonderful video, and your first as well for the show. So you've done a great job there, and a great choice of game. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me about that game. I wonder if we can go back and play it on like DOSBox maxed out if we get a smoother frame rate on it. Don't know. Reminds me of another game I used to play at the time called Slicks and Slides. Might look that up on YouTube in a minute as my choice.
Racing, hey Neil, well...
My learned friend, well, he gives it away right at the start what he's chosen, and it had to be in there. Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge.
Racing, hey Neil, well, lots of choice there, but for me it can only be this.
He sounded a bit leery this week, my learned friend. Racing, eh, Neil? Normally so composed.
Lotus. Or maybe no, I changed my mind. Mario Kart. definitely Mario Kart. Oh no, but what about F-Zero? No. Formula 1 Grand Prix. But do you have one? Do you have 2, 3, 4?
Go!
Oh.
You can't choose. So I'm going to go for the beautifully alliterative option.
I'm Paul Page.
Yes.
From Papyrus, this is IndyCar Racing.
What a game.
Yes, IndyCar racing.
That's
A
what I said.
1993 DOS game, and just a game I absolutely adored, and I sunk a lot of time and a lot of money into. Money, I hear you ask? Well, not DLC or loot crates, but perhaps an early precursor, you see. Because you only got 8 tracks with the original game, but then there was a 7-track pack you bought separately, and, well, then you sent off for the Indianapolis Speedway, which again was separate, and from memory, cost $7.99.
Wow, I
But
didn't
for
know
all
about
the money
that
I
third
sunk
pack.
into it, the irony is, it's now abandonware, and now free. But a great game from the pre-3D card era. And with that, back to Neil in the studio.
It was a great game. I don't remember it being quite as demanding as NASCAR racing. I seem to remember I could get a lot more out of my similar, same spec PC out of that game than NASCAR. I used to play Indy 500 on the Amiga, so that was, that was the sequel to it. And you got texture mapped graphics and things like that. And you got more than just an oval that you got on Indy 500. You actually got right-hand corners, unless you were going the wrong way around the track in Indy 500. Great game. Great choice, my learned friend. I didn't know there was that third pack where you could then actually buy the Indianapolis Speedway for $7.99. I didn't know that one existed. Hello in Brazil. Nice to see you here. My learned friend threw us a curveball there. Right, let's charge through number 5. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll get to 10 and then we'll do the unboxing and then we'll come back for the rest. So this is John. This is Robo John, who is in the chat, and this is his first ever submission. Let's see what he's got for us.
After pondering some of my favourite racing games for an RMC video submission, I managed to forget the one game that actually has the most fondest memories for me.
Is he going to throw us a curve?
I was about to line up Destruction Derby, a game with more fond memories
He's
than
going
fond
for
game
Wipeout.
playing. But the one that stuck out for me was Wipeout,
And there was a calendar there, 10 points.
and it literally jumped out as I grabbed my PlayStation from the shelf.
Are we about to get a copyright strike with the music? Let's find out.
To me, this was a system seller, mainly because it's what sold the system to me. In our local Toys R Us, they had a PlayStation running the Wipeout demo.
Are those Back to the Future boots that look like they've never gone outside? They look cool.
And that was enough. I'd spend a lot of time just sitting there playing that demo. When the PlayStation was finally released, this was the game I took home with it. And so did a lot of my mates. What made it so special? Well, I think it was the best looking game of the time with the heavily stylized and stunning graphics, something that I don't think I've seen in any game prior to Wipeout. There was a feeling of real speed. You really felt like you were going a few hundred miles an hour around the tracks.
Was it a launch title? I can't remember, because I remember seeing Panzer Dragoon on the Sega Saturn in all the windows, and I remember seeing Demolition or Destruction. What was it? Destruction Derby or Demolition Derby? Destruction Derby, wasn't it? I remember seeing that in the windows. And then when I saw this in the shops, I just thought this is the cooler console. Panzer Dragoon was on rails.
The combat side of the game was really good too. It made a big difference. Very frustrating if you're at the receiving end, which I was mostly. And let's not forget the awesome soundtrack,
KP.
which incidentally I didn't know about until I got the machine home and plugged in Wipeout for the first time. The demo unit in Toys R Us did not actually have any sound at the time, so it was a real bonus. Just hearing the Kairodrome track brings back too many memories of intense gaming sessions with the boys, and I think I still had that in my car for a long time. It's also the reason I bought a PlayStation again, just to get back that feeling of Wipeout.
Oh,
and
we're in the
to my
scoreboard.
mind, it's still the best version of the game. I thought I'd get it out of my system. I still haven't. I still play it, and I still love it.
Nice. Great choice. A racing game that doesn't have wheels. That's the first from tonight. Well done. Love the shoes. Love the CRT. That's a nice telly. That looks like a good telly to sit in front of and play some PlayStation. Custado likes the CRT. The only way to play the PlayStation 1. RMC in the leaderboard. Yeah. Destruction Derby one. Yeah, it was Destruction, not Demolition. And Psygnosis released Destruction Derby 1 on the PC. I was so happy when that appeared on the PC. And you could do link-up play, couldn't you? On the PlayStation and the PC. So that was good. Right. John. What has John got for us? Let's put that over there, and that there, and that there.
Skid marks on the Commodore Amiga.
Good. Good choice. I didn't know anyone had chosen this, so if I go back to my web browser, I do actually have a tab over here with skid marks on. So to speak. Too many skid marks puns. Here we go.
How could I not? Go!
Go. Oh, hang on. I haven't got my effects on.
Go! Now, I believe this was written in Blitz Basic and was a fantastic example of what was actually possible using the programming language, if my memory serves me correctly.
Catch 'em.
And the more memory you have, the more cars you can have on the circuit. I think my Amiga 600 allows 4 cars, with a RAM expansion. This is John's voice, by the way. It's not me. Well, it is me being John.
Yes.
And I think there was some Simon Butler artwork in the background there. I think it was. Might have been someone else, but it looks similar to some of his work. Good choice, yeah. And skid marks, makes me laugh every time I say that. You can play it right now on your browser. Is it Epic Skid Marks? Can anyone tell me? Because I was playing it the other day. There's a website where you can just go and play a browser-based game of skid marks now. Yeah, it's quite hard. And on the browser one, you're racing with caravans as well. Yeah, Simon Butler Canvas. I thought I recognised the artwork. You could link to Amigas up, yeah. It was kind of like... has chat fallen off the stream? Okay, I'll have a look at that. It was kind of like Ivan Iron Man's off-road racing on steroids because it had the scrolling. It felt... I don't know, it just felt good. Good to play. Obviously, it had many years on Iron Man, a couple of years to improve on that concept. I guess it was a bit like Micro Machines with more off-roading. I don't know. Good game, though. Good game. Now, where's the chat? You're telling me the chat's gone. I think we have it disabled on this view, don't we? I mean, I can put it there, but I didn't want it to get in the way of the videos. That's why we have it disabled here. I remember, because when we had it on before, I was asked to turn it off. That's why. Retro Baz, who is in the chat. Let's see what Baz has got for us.
You're the greatest.
No, you're the greatest.
Oh, thank you, Baz. It's kind of you.
The greatest.
No, you're the greatest.
You're the greatest.
Well, okay, fine. Ridge Racer on the original PlayStation, with the menu background taken from a 90s GeoCities website. 3 tracks and 4 cars to choose from. What more could you possibly want? And my choice of car is always the yellow one. Look at it!
Look at it.
I still have my original Platinum game that I got with my console back in probably 95 or 96, and this is it, playing on my original PlayStation.
Another PlayStation game.
This is a reenactment of what happened to my mind when I first played Ridge Racer.
Good effect.
Although one of my all-time favourite games is Outrun, Ridge Racer started my real love of arcade racers, and I had the whole series, with Raid Racer and Type 4 probably my favourites. Once you win all 3 courses in the TT, you get to play the courses again, but this time backwards, which is pretty awful to be honest. The best way to play this is probably the Mazda Sit-In arcade version, which is, hopefully, still in Blackpool.
I was about to say Blackpool, yeah. I really want to play it, but I don't want to at the same time because whenever I see a picture of this, the screens look really faded. And I think I don't know if that was how it was, if that's just the technology of the day. It's probably rear projection, isn't it? I'd love to play it on some bright, clear screens. Maybe I should just do it. Next time I'm in Blackpool, I'll try it.
Simply amazing. Thanks, and back to Neil in the studio.
Ridge Racer, of course. Thank you, Baz. Namco had the patent for 20 years. If we go back to the start of the video, there we go. They had the patent for 20 years to have a mini game on a loading screen. It was only in 2015 that it expired and other companies could do it. So, I thought it was a great idea to have a mini game on a loading screen, especially on a PlayStation where it sort of takes a while to load off the CD. Play a bit of Galaxian, play something. No, Namco spoiled it for everyone. Patented that. You can't have it. Only we can do that. Absolute trolls. I do have Custado. I'm not sure how I'll get a car up to the 3rd floor. Ridge Racer. Surprised we didn't get that in the video. Yes, Namco's you in the chat. You've got a lot to answer for. Oh, Custado says it was never contested. What have we got next? WSTLR, who I always pronounce as Wessler. I don't know if that's right or not. See what you've got. And this is another first-time submission to RMC. Oh, hang on. No.
Good evening, Neil.
No, don't open in Windows Media Player. VLC, please.
Good evening, Neil. Good evening, Cave Dwellers. Whistler here with my first
it is Whistler.
Submission to one of these live streams. When Neil announced that this was going to be the month of racing games, lots of different options came to mind. And I'm not selecting this game that you see before you because...
Are you another one throwing a curveball with the Lotus game? I bet by the end of this nobody has chosen Lotus and you've all teased me with Lotus.
It's the most played or most enjoyable for me, but this was a game that made me want to buy an Amiga. I think it was Christmas 1992, and my friend Tim received a 500 Plus for his Christmas present, and shortly after Christmas we went round to his house, and amongst Lemmings and some other games we played Lotus Turbo Challenge 2. And I think that more than anything it was the incredible soundtrack that blew my mind. The graphics were great, and I was never really an arcade kid. I had.
Okay. It happens every month, okay? That was our mute moment. Fine. I've muted myself. What I was trying to say was it's Lotus Turbo Challenge 2, isn't it? That has the in the music. That's the one, isn't it? Sorry, Johnny. We'll continue.
A Atari 65XE at home, so I was still an 8-bit user, and the Amiga immediately jumped out at me as being this incredible machine that had huge capabilities when I saw this game loading up for the first time.
Just trying to see the price on that. Is it $23.99 or $13.99? Looks expensive.
More than anything, it was Barry Leach's soundtrack for this I think Barry Leach has done some other titles for Gremlin here, but this Turbo Challenge track is definitely the one that I remember the most. And I don't think either of us had a big box copy of the game at the time.
Oh, I remember the trucks that come across the road, and you've got to just go under the trailer. That's Pillock there on his truck driving simulator, and you just got to time it just right.
When I did eventually get an Amiga, I think I probably used a copied version from Tim or one of my friends. But yeah, I think rather than this being the game that I have had the most hours playing or the most time spent in its company, it's more the fact that this game really, really inspired me to...
Hang on a minute. 2 minutes in. 3 minutes long. Whistler, as it's your first submission, we'll let you off the 90-second rule. Just this once.
Pester my parents to buy me an Amiga 500 Plus, and yeah, the rest is history. So I'll leave you with some footage from the game, from the intro, and of course the amazing soundtrack.
Karaoke in the game. It's the only song I can sing. There we go. Great choice. Bitter Blitter pointed out, Barry Leach also did the TFX music. Another game that I loved the music from. Whether you had the CD version with that lovely soundtrack or the MIDI music on the disc version, they both came very strong soundtracks. You heard it. Do not copy this game on the left channel. Fred now needs to play some Lotus. So we'll get up to 10 and then we'll do some unboxing. So we are with Arthur next. Let's see what Arthur has for us. Street Rod. There's some corn on the cobs coming out the front of the car there.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to present to you a racing game, Street Rod. I have chosen this game because it was one of my favorite games I played as a child. I have played many racing games since, but none were as fun and enjoyable as the Street Rod. A mother to all tune-up and race games.
Now this is a game that I'm only familiar with through YouTube videos. I didn't actually play it back in the day. I think we got it on the Amiga. But I think was it a PC game? Fred says it's actually a Polish game.
I remember playing only the DOS version of the game and had never seen the Amiga version until very recently. I just realized how much fun I missed to never play it on Amiga. The main goal in the game is to challenge and beat the king in a drag race and then in a pink slips road race. If you succeed, you'll win his car and his girlfriend.
And the girlfriend, she gets thrown in as well. It's like a day out with Rich in his Capri.
I'll just take your car, Mr. King. In order to do that, you have to race, and race again. You start with little money and you can afford only basic cheap cars, so earn money in drag races and road races, tune up your cars or win opponents' cars.
It's kind of fun. It looks a bit like Test Drive, but with a bit more character to it.
Wrecking your transmission is common, and smashing dozens of cars is nothing unusual. So please try the game and have fun.
Yeah, Robo John.
Thank you.
You lose, take a walk, sucker. Thank you, Arthur. Really enjoyed that. Yeah. I don't know. Is his girlfriend worth winning? I didn't see really what she looked like. I just take the car, thanks. Sozzled takes us up to the break for the unboxing. Let's see what Sozzled's got for us. I used to load this game just to hear that. Oh, hang on. I didn't load this game just to hear that because I thought this was Supercars, but it's not. It's a Lotus game. Oh, I do remember this music. This is a homage to all of the Lotuses, I believe. Because that's Lotus 1, is it? Or is that 3? I think it was a bit of a I Love Lotus love fest. And why not? Because Lotus is a great game. I think we've got a lot of fans in the chat of Lotus. Lotus 3, for me, started to get a bit weird. You had that kind of alien planet tracks, and you had the procedurally generated track thing. I think Lotus 2 was peak Lotus for me, and 3 just threw everything, the kitchen sink and everything at it. Thank you, Chris. So we've got more driving games to look at, but I reckon we should take a little break because we are nearly an hour in. We'll do some unboxing. Before we do, let me give you my choice of game. I think you can see from the tabs, it's Outrun. I don't know that anyone's picked Outrun. And this is the Outrun cabinet that came up in the This Week in Retro podcast. Hi gamer, my name is Jade. How can I help you? Should we talk to Jade? Hang on, let's talk to Jade on the website. General question. Hi Jade. You're live on the RMC game stream. How are you today? I think Jade's a bot. I think Jade's a bot. Are you a bot, Jade? Jade's not real. Honestly. Go away. So this is the arcade 1-up. Now, I've got to say, if we go down, we can see there are some other arcade 1-up cabinets. And I actually like some of the cabinets. I think Golden Axe is pretty nice. I think Ms. Pac-Man, they've got the nice shape to the cabinet. So I'm not a hater of all things arcade 1-up. It's just this Outrun cabinet that's not working for me. And I'd like to hear your opinions on it. I mean, in that kind of specially photographed setting, okay, but the more you look, the more I don't like it. You haven't got the bezel. Well, just look at it. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Yeah, the Star Wars cabinet, that looks really nice. So I'm not hating on all things arcade 1-up. It's the child's bed, yes. You've got the child's bed there that you push up against it. Thank you, by the way, to the admin that is helping me with the messages. Is that you, Dave? It's no life-sized MX-5. No, it's not. Low effort, says Richard. Oh, you've got a friend with an Outrun DLX moving cab. I think if I had an Outrun cab, it'd have to be the sit-down one. The hydraulic one, it just seems like it would probably need quite a bit of maintenance to keep on top of it. But I don't get on with the stand-up one. I don't like using the pedals while standing up. Although saying that, with Outrun, you don't really need to use the brake. You can just sort of slam it into low and high gear. Thank you, Naoki. Yeah, I'd like to see that. But anyway, Outrun as an arcade game is my choice of racing game, I think. And I also picked up a couple of boxes that I saw on the shelves of other games that I like. Let's go to the main desk. Hello? Why are you not working? I think we've lost the connection. There we go. So, some racing games that I pulled off the shelf. Any fans of good old BMX Simulator? This is the C64 version, but I would have played the Amstrad CPC version. 2-player, fun little game from the old Oliver twins. Real 2-player option, amazing realism. The burns, bumps and ramps really work. 7 different courses, each one harder. 2-player option and fantastic action replay option with slow-mo will make this the best BMX game yet. Thank you, Naoki. I also picked up Roadkill, a CD32 title from Acid Software. Kind of fun. 90% score in the One magazine. I'm reading this from the back. 93% in Amiga CD32 Gamer. And Sky Games World gave it 95%. I've never heard of Sky Games World. Is that Sky as in the TV station? Anyway, fun game. Need for Speed Porsche 2000, just because it contained Porsches. And as a kid, a Porsche Carrera 4S was my dream car. So this was the closest I'll ever get to driving that. Oh, Kickstart 2, good choice, Custado. And my Grand Prix 1 is boxed to go to the new cave, so that almost looks like it's me. So I picked this one, but I played more of the first one. But yeah, of course, this did improve on it. This was a great game. Played a lot of Grand Prix 3, kind of fell off the series after that. I don't know if it got any better. But then video games got bigger and bigger. The license for Formula 1 got more and more valuable. And it fell to the big boys like Sony had it, didn't they, with the PlayStation? Who's got it now? Have Codemasters got it now? Codemasters might have it. Oh, not the water over. Who has the Formula 1 license? Codemasters, yeah. I played Codemasters Formula 1, I think the first year they got the license back, and I loved it. I hated the fact that it was tied to, what's that game service that you have to sign into, even if you're playing offline. That was a real pain because we had terrible internet at the house at the time. And I snapped my steering wheel. My steering wheel snapped halfway round Monaco. The wheel just went, and that was it. It was just floppy. That was the end of that. No, it wasn't Xbox Live. It wasn't GameSpy. It's the one everyone loves to hate. So, yeah, we're going to do unboxing, aren't we? We're going to do. Does anyone need a break just to get themselves a beer and a cup of tea? I think somebody asked for an intermission earlier. Thank you, Richard, for sharing that. Origin, yes, that was it, Jake. Thank you. That was the service. Pillock needs to get a gin. Okay, let's just have a couple of minutes intermission, and I will be back. What shall I leave you on? I'll leave you on the intro. Back shortly. back. I'm back. I don't want to stop the music. I like this track. Here we are. Made myself a coffee, and I've got to take this home. I've got the bottle of mullein syrup for the mulled wine with a lovely big stick of cinnamon down the middle of it, and I keep putting a. It's not alcoholic. It's just the syrup. But I keep putting a sneaky bit of it in my coffee to get a nice Christmas coffee. It's not going to last. So what are you talking about then? Pillock bought an analog joystick for the Amiga, and F1 GP sucked me right in. Do you know what I had with F1 GP? I had that horrible floating steering wheel from Logic 3 that you had to tilt forward to accelerate like a bus driver because I didn't have the pedals. It kind of worked. It kind of worked. Chris, I bought it from the local health food shop. It's not a supermarket, so I don't know where you'd buy it if you're talking about the syrup. go. Right, let's do the unboxing. What I'm going to have to do is just shift the camera around so you can see. Well, before I shift the camera around, I do the small packets on the desk, and I'll show you. A couple of them I have opened only to the point of going, what's this? Oh, I know what this is, and then not actually pulling it. Not actually pulling it out. Officer. Where's the knife? Let me get a knife. Thank you, Mark Central. So, this first box. Let's get it open. Behave, Philip. Yeah, I need Ed the Duck next to me, don't I? Block you later. So, this is a package from... Let's not block the microphone. This is a package from Riot Retro Gaming, a YouTube channel. It says, crazy thanks, RMC Neil. We all thank you for your support over the years and continued enjoyment watching our crazy show, which is sometimes quite good. Admittedly, yeah, it is sometimes quite good. This is the least we can do to show the appreciation of you giving up some of your time to watch. Also, a thanks for the time given for your interview video. So here is some merch. The channel is looking great, love the content, and it just makes all the hard work worth it. Smiley face, all the best, buddy. And this letter comes from Ant, Big Nut, and the Horse. So, I think they should get a shout out. Are we on the right setting? Shout out to Ant, Big Nut, and the Horse. Let's see what they've sent. Merch. So I'm guessing some Riot. Oh, we got a T-shirt in there. Nice. A bright yellow T-shirt, so I'll look like Pac-Man when I wear this. Do not iron. Okay, Riot Retro Gaming. On Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. They're a good bunch of lads. They always have a good time. Big Nuts and the Horse, and Ant. And we've got something else in here. Shout out in the Butte Tunnel. Yeah, what size is it? Are they calling me fat? It's an extra large. To be honest with you, I will fill that out. I will fill that out. This year has not been kind to my waistline. I need to get back in the exercise. Ooh, that's a nice mug. It's yellow on the inside. Nice one, lads. Thank you very much for sending that in. No, it ain't muscles, Baz. It ain't muscles. I'll put that up there. Oh, it's behind the chat. Oh well. It is a nice mug. Right, what's next? Because we've got a lot to get through if we're going to get through the other 10 videos. Next up was... Oh, this was a really nice thing. A really useful thing. This is from Andy at Charlie Beatnik on Twitter. And yeah, we had a little chat on the DMs on Twitter. And well, I'll read you what he says. Hi Neil, you may remember we chatted about this on Twitter. Many of us want to boot our Amigas from an external drive. But, like yourself, I didn't want to cut a hole in my precious Amiga 500 in order to install a switch for a boot selector. Yeah, I had mine in the trapdoor, which was a bit fiddly to get to. Fortunately, a developer called C64 Istanbul on PCBWay has designed a PCB and written software to allow a keyboard shortcut to be used instead of a toggle switch. What a great idea. I built one for myself and had enough spares to make another one. So He's explained how to install it. You put this into your Amiga 500. You press Control Amiga 3 times in succession. Alternatively, you can press the reset keys for 4 seconds. And the next time the Amiga 500 reboots, it's toggled the drive boot order. That's useful. So what it is it's just a little thing that sits on the CIA chip. I'm sure Pillock knows all about these. Sits where the CIA chip would be, and then it goes in the top. And then you can just do a key press to swap if DFO is the external drive or the internal drive. Really quite useful. Doesn't add MIDI ports, no. So it's not quite up to Atari ST levels. Thank you, Andy at Charlie Beatnik. I might need to buy one. Well, they're on PCBWay, so I could certainly get a bunch of just the bare circuit boards. Next up. Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is, and I need to do some work for this. This is from David. Dear Neil, please find enclosed the VHS cassette as discussed in the Cave Discord room. Let me know if you do digitize and stream it. Hopefully someone will find it interesting. And this comes from David at the Scottish Dark Sky Observatory. What a cool place to work. What a cool place to work. And he sent me this VHS, which is presented by the late great Fred Harris. And it's the Sunday Times How to Make the Most of Microsoft Windows, a video guide to the popular PC operating environment, presented by Fred Harris. And that is Windows version 3.0. Personal computer users have been turning to Microsoft Windows in their millions because it makes personal computing intuitive and more visual. Software developers have responded by making Windows versions of their products, which really exploit the power of your PC. The beauty is that once you have learned one Windows application, you are well on the way to knowing how to use all of the others. In this video, Fred Harris shows you how to get to grips with Windows from basic use of the mouse to customizing your Windows environment. So, we might as well digitize it for preservation purposes, and maybe you'd like to watch it with me. Why not? 1991 this came out. I don't know if it's on YouTube anywhere. Maybe we'll be the first to preserve it. And also there's a little packet here with a pen from, it says on it, Scottish Dark Sky Observatory. Scottish Dark Sky at night. Scotch Egg Delight. And a little pin badge. I like pin badges. I put them on my camera bag, so that will be added to my camera bag collection. Thank you. I'll put it on now. It really is turning into the CBBC broom cupboard. I wonder if that's on rotation on Old Timey Computer Show. If it's not, then maybe he can add it to his collection. Is Fred Harris still alive? I thought he died. I'm sorry, Fred, for declaring you dead. Next one comes from Ireland, by the looks of it. Oh, I know who these have come from. So, are they all the same? No, we got a. Oh, nice. So these have come from the 8-Bit Man Shed, which is the other channel of Banjo Guy Ollie. who I'm sure many of you know, Banjo Gowley, or his channel, the 8-Bit Man Shed. So these are PCBs he's made and got printed, and I've got one for an MSX to put a game ROM on. I've got one for an Atari XE/XL, again, pop a game ROM on there so we can flash our own game ROM and stick it on there. And 8 or 16K games can go on that. What's this one? Oh, that's MSX also. And that is... I don't know what the difference is between those. I think it's just taller. It's just a taller thing. Maybe for different MSXs. And again, another Atari. So we could have some fun flashing some EEPROMs. Put them in, and then maybe 3D print a case for them. Or you could put maybe a diagnostics ROM on, is always useful to have. My badge is bleeding. It is Russell. It is Russell. It's for my MSX machine. It's a Yamaha. You know he's doing Yan Beta, I saw on Twitter. Banjo Gowley's doing a Yan Beta cover. Next one, before we get onto the really big boys. Oh, I don't know what this is. Hopefully whoever sent it has included their name. It's been sat here for most of the month, this one, waiting to be opened on stream. Unless it's like something Lily's ordered and nothing to do with the channel whatsoever. Well, it was a large lampshade from Next Home. Sausages. We should have done this one on the floor, right? I'm going to go for the biggest sausage because these feel like accessories to go with it. And this feels more like a system of some sort. No note in it to say who it's from, so I do apologise. If you're in the chat, put your hand up. And don't all claim that you sent it in. I know what you're like. Hello, Arthur the Red. Hello to you. I do feel like it's true. Am I a little quiet? It's probably because I'm a little way away from the mic. I'll turn the compression up. Does that help? Oh, I see what this is. It's a Philips CDI. Castado's favourite. Oh, I think the spring's gone on the opening mechanism. So there's the first thing we'll need to fix. It's a CDI 450 CD audio and photo CD. There we go, and with it those other packages will be the power supply and controller, and the DC in is looks like an RJ11 jack, slightly bigger, but yeah, like a network cable kind of socket in the middle there for the power. Hello from future Keith. What are you guys talking about? Are the chats out of sync? Oh, Woody, thank you for the $1. Very kind of you, sir. Yeah, lots of room for it on the apple crates. We'll put it there. So thank you. I do, of course, personally thank everyone who sends these things in when they send them in. So I do apologise if you haven't included your name in a package, and you know, I can't give you a shout out live on stream. Okay, we've got a big box to open. I think what we'll do is we'll go back to the racing videos, then we'll do that at the end. And that will see us through to the end of the stream. So let's get back to our racing videos. Where did we get to? We got as far as Troy, who I believe... Oh, Woody, thank you for the $4. Very kind. And hello to TDO, the Digital Orphanage. Good to see you here. Is that what you want, Woody? You want a Daytona shout-out? Daytona! That was horrible. That was horrible. But you paid for it. No refunds. Okay, let's see what Troy's got. Are we in a garage? Are we changing wheels?
In 1985, I can remember being quite good at pole position on the Commodore 64. What I learned was that gaming driving did not translate that well to real-life driving. When I became 16, my dad took me on the road, said, "Oh, I forgot you didn't drive a tractor around the farm." And he was right. Pole position did not translate well to real-world driving. So let's see how my kids...
You say that, Troy. Do you know what? I put down playing Jeff Crammon's F1 GP. I think I may have got something out of that game when it came to learning to drive. I'd like to think I got a pole position, maybe not so much. But I'd like to think I got something out of F1 GP when it came to learning to drive. Does anyone else feel that way?
Are equipped to tackle at least virtual driving for now.
I'm playing Tim. Which one's the fire one?
The left one.
This one?
Yep. No. The left one.
Oh, Jimbo, that's sad.
Am I right?
You're white, Owen.
Am I in the lead?
Henry, you gotta keep the button down.
I'm in the lead, right? I don't need No!
We got a monster joystick there. We've got one driving directly into the road signs.
No.
What are we gonna do now that you want it?
It's like when Rich plays video games, just constantly shouting, "No, no."
Owen, go to bed.
Go to Disney World!
That's the right answer.
There you go. Troy has taken the opportunity to advertise his Twitter there at pandemic_dad. I'm guessing he's a new Twitter user. Wow, what a prize. Win a game of Lotus against your sibling and then choose to go to Disney World as a prize. I want to live there. D Cousin says Porsche Unleashed with the steering wheel and pedals taught me a lot. Yeah, F1 GP taught me how to take the racing line around my estate. Over the Tesco roundabout. Chris G, who is in the chat. Chris G. Shout out to Chris G. Here's Chris G's video. Or is it Lemmy? Here we go. Chris, down here.
Oh, hi. It's Chris from Discord channel. Hope everyone's well. I thought I would talk about a few games. Well, first of all is Remedy's Death Rally. Brilliant game. Well, fantastic soundtrack. Lots of action. The other one was maybe Grand Theft Auto 3 because it's a brilliant, fantastic game for the PlayStation.
Ooh, is Grand Theft Auto a driving game? I mean, there's a lot of driving in it, but do you class it as a driving game?
And PC. some levels were racing as well. But the real game I wanted to go for, very jumpers for goalposts, was Jeff Cramman's Formula 1 Grand Prix. I used to play this many an hour. They had setups off cover disc off a magazine. Used to play 2-player with my friend pretty much all night long when I was young, and we could actually stay up all night and not really suffer for it. A game that I distinctly remember was, I think it was Imola, and qualifying really, really well, and then when it came to the race, it was a wet race, and I vehemently argued for choosing the street track setup because it was high downforce, and would be essential. And my friend was very much against this, and he was right, I was wrong. It was a complete disaster, and we quit. Over to you, Neil.
Thank you. The nice thing about F1GP was you could go to 100% race distance, and you could have a marathon day of racing, and you could use the hot seat option, so you and your friend could, it would swap you in and out your cars, and you take turns racing on one computer. Love it so much. How is Outrun a driving game, says Johannes. Sorry, I missed what you all said. Yeah, let's scroll back. I missed what you all said about whether GTA is a driving game or not. Drive over stuff game. GTA is predominantly a driving game, but not a racing game. Fair comment. Grand Theft of Automobiles. GTA is auto in the name. Driving game, yes, but not a racing game. Best real-world driving sim, says Ben. We've all done it, haven't we? We've all played GTA and gone, right, I'm going to stick to the rules. I'm going to drive really carefully. And we last about 30 seconds before we just go, sod it, and start running people down. We've all done it. Thank you, Yanis. And thank you, Chris G. Derek is next. Let's see what Derek has got. Derek is Flame Lily in the chat.
Hello, cave dwellers.
Oh, Derek wins. Derek wins for showing all the merch. Retro Cave Monkey. Oh, he's bought a custom mug.
Racing games, you say? Well, this dude is in a race, and it's a game. So
it's Daley Thompson.
Daley Thompson's Decathlon from 1984, known as the Joystick Killer. Let's check mine's working.
Pillock's Waggle Checker.
Let's see how the young ones get on with this all.
I want to see that again.
So, Daley Thompson's Decathlon from 1984, known as the Joystick Killer. Let's check mine's working.
Joystick testing
Let's see how the young ones get on with this old game.
So we've got a bug there. A couple of quick shots and a competition parade.
Okay, kids, choose your joystick.
Cheetah.
And no, you can't use a mouse. Or you can't use those things. How are you going to waggle those things?
Oh, 10 points for Hoffman. And a calendar. And that is 19.16 seconds for the 100-meter sprint. Tape measure. Look at this. We've even got captions. This is like a whole full-on YouTube production. Different joystick does not help teenager. A little bit of back office show product placement on the mouse mat as well. What are you doing with that joystick, man? Here we go. Derek's going to show us how it's done. Go on, Derek. Go on, son. Go on, Derek. Go on, Derek. 13 seconds? Well, he's happy with that. He's happy with that. This is some of your finest work, Derek.
Oh dear. There goes another joystick.
Oh, gosh.
Right, Neil. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Derek. Tremendous effort. And it's a racing game. Didn't have to be a car game. I just said racing. Practice that wrist, says Richard. Woody. I bet Daily runs slower on an Amstrad. Nothing beats a broken floppy. We all got through so many joysticks, didn't we? I used to have the Conix Navigator for games like that because I was so fed up with breaking joysticks. So that was one that looked like a gun with a bit like the Bug, but it had a gun grip. So you could kind of hold it close to you and sideways, and you could get it going like that without worrying about breaking the shaft. So that saw me through a lot of games like that. Yes, Dave, it's very difficult once you start a sentence on this topic. It's very difficult not to sound like Mark Fixes stuff. Next up is Jim.
Hi, this is Jim from America, and I'd like to present a North American perspective.
Stop. Wait, Jim. Just wait. I've got to turn the music off. I've got to make you full screen. What's that? Is that Jim's eye shade set? Let's see.
Hi, this is Jim from America, and I'd like to present a North American perspective on the early days of DOS racing games. By early days, I mean the first decade of the IBM PC. And when I mention that, most people think of Test Drive. But if you'd like Test Drive with opponents, the same company programmed Grand Prix Circuit.
These are games that they did come out on the Amiga, I think, but I always remember being a bit jealous of them on the PC.
However, my money for most fun from that era is actually Indianapolis 500, programmed completely in assembler, very fast 3D graphics, and is quite the joy to behold.
Very fast on the Amiga 500 as well.
If you want something off the beaten path, there's always motocross, where you literally go off the beaten path. It is a motocross dirt bike racing game. A very popular category during those days was stunt track racing.
Ooh, stunt track racer. Now that was stunt car racer over here, wasn't it? It's got to be the same. The artwork's the same. Stunt track racing. Someone said, does Jim have a channel? Jim, if you're in the chat, which you are, Jim Leonard, let us know. Or just click on Jim. Everyone click on Jim and you'll see if he has a channel.
And this game, in fact, called Stunt Track Racer, is really Stunt Car Racer, as you Europeans would mostly know it.
I did not know that was called Stunt Track Racer. Today I learned.
I mentioned stunt driving. Of course, the quintessential package for that is Stunts.
Now, Stunts was 4D sports driving to me, and it's a wonderful game. Not seen that box as well. That's a really nice box.
But I'm a little upset. History doesn't really remember Stunt Driver from Spectrum Holobyte. It has more features and is a more technically accurate simulation, but unfortunately, most people don't remember it.
I don't remember it, and Spectrum Holobyte were famous for their flight simulators, so I'm expecting a 3D extravaganza from that. So, Stunt Driver, need to check it out.
Finally, there's Turbo Champions. Now, Turbo Champions is, quite frankly...
Before you speak, Jim, I'm seeing a Mastertronic logo, which I always associate with being a British budget release publisher. I've never seen a Mastertronics logo on a box like that. That's interesting.
A fairly terrible game, but as an assembler programmer myself, I am amazed at the real-time scaled sprites. Programmed completely in assembler, a first for the DOS racing genre in 1989, programmed by Graham Devine, who you may remember from The Seventh Guest.
Jim says this was a budget release. Yeah, I've just not seen Mastertronic on a box like that. Oh, and that's the end. Jim, that was a fantastic video. You crammed so much information into so little time. I hope we'll see more videos from you in future. The artwork on that last game also reminds me of something.
Hi, this is Jim from America.
Hi, Jim from America. I want to scroll to the end there. That Turbo Champions box. It reminds me of there was an 8-bit release where you were a stuntman. Might have been called Stuntman. And the box art reminds me of that. reminds me of that. I'll try and remember what it is before the end of the stream. What's the thing at the start? Yeah, Jim, what's the thing at the start? What's this? It's a cool looking thing. Is it a paint palette? Is that what this is? Oh, for calibrating colour. Ooh, Jim's a pro. Johnny's never seen any Mastertronic PC games. I'm just gonna have a quick look. What was that game? It was well, it was on the Amstrad. Stunt game. Mastertronic. Okay, it is different. It was Super Stuntman I was trying to think of. The artwork for which looks like that. And that is not the same, but, you know, kind of similar. Yeah, you see what I'm getting at. It's the same car, but it's clearly a different picture. Okay, I'm glad I cleared that up. It's just based on the same car. It would have bugged me if I hadn't checked it out. Now it's our friend Naoki, who during this stream, if you're on my Discord, go into the gallery room. He's posted a picture of his friend's sitting outrun cabinet that he and his friend refurbished, and it looks just pristine. Just amazing. So check that out if you're on Discord. And this is Naoki's video.
This is a journey into the sound of speed.
And that is Naoki's car that he's ragging because I think that's the workshops that we went to when we sprayed the BBC Micro. He helped me do that.
Mid-90s Sega, racing cars and beats that would make even Dr. Joe ashamed. It can only be one game. What more can be said about this game then? A game with some of the most 90s dance music you can think of, and gameplay as difficult as Dark Souls. Perhaps this is like Sega's later Ferrari F355 challenge. It's not about the arcade gameplay as such, but more of a simulation of the touring cars themselves.
Yeah, I found this really hard in the arcades. I always went, nah, you're right, I'll play some Ridge Racer or some Daytona. This one's too hard for me. It takes all my money.
And as I also love my arcade cabs, I previously had an F-Zero AX, which board I since had to sell. Press F to pay respects.
So it should be no surprise.
What are you doing, man?
I'm really sure of my Sega Touring Car arcade cabinet, although this is very much a work in progress. Oh yes, as if it wasn't hard to tell, the lack of force feedback, no side panel art, oh, and there's still PC music. I mean, not even the metal panels at the back are installed. Well, yes, but it's already a repair series in progress. In the future, I hope to have more videos up on it anyway. So
oh, Naoki's pushing that self-promotion. Click on his name. Subscribe to his channel if you want to see that. I know I want to see that restoration. I'm still laughing at the fact you're in a full racing suit to play your arcade game.
Starting in 2021, well, hopefully. Oh, and capturing the songs. What? This is game really copyrighted. So, no so hard, no? I wake up, no?
There's a tiny Hoffman. Is that a mini disc Hoffman in the background? There's all sorts going on in this video.
Don't drop me? No. Well, that's just great.
No laws were broken. Well done, Naoki. Yeah, I remember that being in the arcades, in quite a lot of the arcades that I used to frequent. And I remember it being hard, so I didn't actually play that so much, but if you love it so much that you've got yourself a cabinet, then maybe it deserves a second chance. Oh, there was an Elmo as well. Good work, Naoki. I do enjoy your videos. Next up, we've got Johannes, who is in the chat.
Hello!
Hello.
My name is Johannes. I'm a retro computing and gaming enthusiast from Finland. And these are some of my favorite racing games. They're not really serious racing games, they're all arcade ports, but I really loved them as a kid. And
I can give Johannes echo. I didn't know I could do that. Sorry, Johannes.
I still like to play them now as a retro computing hobbyist in my older age. And they're all for the Commodore 64, and I love to play them with my original hardware, so here we go. I got this system originally to play vintage RPGs, but when I came across Buggy Boy, I remembered all these great arcade ports of my youth.
Buggy Boy is such a smooth game on the C64.
And many of them still play really well.
You want him to have the... I'm not giving him the chipmunk voice.
Outrun ports have got their share of bashing over the years,
yes.
but I like the European C64 ports well enough. It's got speed and great music, and what else do you need for a racer?
Certainly better than the Amstrad.
Incidentally, the C64...
Yes, Road Blasters. Now, I used to play this in the arcades. I mean, it was an old game by the time I was playing it in the arcades. It's got 1986 there on the title, but good game.
Road Blasters port, my favourite of these, was done by the same young guy who did Outrun. Road Blasters is probably the least racing of these games, but it's loads of fun even still.
Cracking choices. There we go. There was a request for you, Johannes, to have the chipmunk voice. I feel bad doing this to you. Let's change it to that. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Johannes. I'm a retro computing and gaming enthusiast from Finland. And these are some of my favourite racing games. They're not really serious racing games, they're all arcade ports, but I really loved them as a kid, and I still...
That's enough. We must respect Johannes. Oh, you're all in for it now. Who have we got next? We've got Tim Wright next. Let's see how Tim sounds.
Greetings, cave dwellers.
Oh, come on. How can we not?
Greetings, cave dwellers. When I think racing game, I immediately think Fatal Racing, which came bundled with my original, gorgeous, Orchid Righteous 3D Voodoo graphics card. But then I thought...
10 points.
No. How about something completely different?
What the hell is that? I don't know where to start with that. Any guesses? Any guesses in the chat as to what this is? I think the chat's a couple of seconds behind, so I'll just let you come in. Castado probably knows it. Japanese truck racing, says Mumbo. It's a PS2 game, says Baz. No, Endurance. Let's find out. It's quite aggressive.
Truck Kyosok Yoku by Metro and Namco is what happens when a group of Japanese game developers stagger drunkenly out of a karaoke bar one night with the idea of ripping off Sega's 18-reeler American Pro Trucker, but in a madcap Japanese style. Featuring multiple routes. Persistent rivals who keep running off the road.
Well, Pillar, you have to
environmental hazards. Cats.
Massive cats.
Dodgy love interests. Minigames involving collecting fish floating in the middle of the road. Obstacle courses through the bowels of hell. And it's all set to a rocking soundtrack.
Wow. I need to play this right now. Is that going to get me a copyright strike? It looks like we're in Pat Butcher's truck. Look at that sort of felt pink leopard print. Wow.
I now return you to your normal program. Back to you, Neil.
What is going on? We need to play this game. What is this game? Nothing whatsoever to do with your Orchard. Just bragging about his Orchard Righteous 3D, and then we're into this. What is it? We've got to play this. Pillock, we've got to play this. Thank you, Tim. I think you've opened a lot of eyes tonight. Tim says, I think I'm the only person who's ever heard of it. Well, that is going top of my list of games to play. We got Paul next. Oh. Here comes Paul.
Hi folks, it's Paul. I'm here to talk to you about a racing-ish game that I worked on in 2003, so let's jump in.
In 2003, working as a games designer for Informer, a small mobile games company based in Cambridge.
So that is what the office of a small mobile games company in Cambridge looks like. Like every game developer's office that you see in 80s magazines. Over a shop.
We obtained the license to make a mobile Java game based on the then upcoming reboot of The Italian Job. As research, I raced around town in my Fiat Uno, a boot crammed full of Terry's All Gold chocolate. Okay, Paramount showed us an early edit of the movie. Like the film, the game is also set in New York. And sees you racing, there it is, a choice of 3 minis searching for one of 3 security trucks full of gold. Find the right truck, the road explodes, dropping it to the subway below. Then it's a race to the subway entrance where you drive down to recover a gold for a full-screen cinematic. Okay, little bit of a fib, but we had like 64k of space and a tiny by today's standards screen to fit it all into. We planned a section in the game where you drive through the tunnels, but we just couldn't fit it in.
This was all in Java, I think you said.
Anyway, back to the plot. Gold recovered, back to the city streets and speed to the train station to deliver your loot to your waiting getaway train. However, now you are pursued by machine-gunning bikers and bomb-dropping helicopters. Repeat until all the gold is recovered and you win, yay, or take too much damage to the mini you're driving and the game is over. Although you can swap after the epic cutscene. You're able to drop gold bars to stop motorcyclists. It was originally going to be grenades, but Paramount said no. But the early version of the script we were sent had grenades in it. So gold bars it was then. It's well worth checking this and many other J2ME games out if you have the chance.
Very interesting. We've got an actual game dev that worked on that in Paul. Thank you, Paul, for sharing that. Yeah, I think the last thing you would chuck out the back of your Mini is the gold bar, isn't it? Anything but the gold bar. Yeah, the thing I remember most about J2ME games is just the loading times. But I think that's because I had cheaper phones. I didn't have the premium phone that could load them quick. But yeah. I hope it was a stepping stone onto, a career in gaming that continues. Are you still working on games, Paul? I see you there in the chat. Yeah, it does. 2003, that doesn't look bad at all, does it? We've got 2 left. We've got the Pillock next. Should we see what the Pillock's got for us? Giant gold bar. If the gold bar was that size in relation to the car probably couldn't move. Just break its suspension. Please tell me Paul works on Shadow Raid Legends. Online gambling now. That's where a lot of the mobile gaming's gone, isn't it? And by online gambling, he means FIFA. Here we go, here's Pillock's game.
2, 1.
Rallying is the second most fun way of getting...
It's Pillock Clarkson. That deserves the silly voice. And what's this? Look at this bloke giving you evils. What's his problem? Wow.
Dirty in the woods. But can you get that same thrill at home? Let's find out. First up, we have Lombard RAC
great
Rally,
choice.
putting you at the wheel of the iconic Sierra Cosworth.
What stunned me when I first played this game was the arm.
With an in-car view plus animated driver, it's a fair attempt, although the road does look a little bit apey.
Changes gears. The arm moves the gear stick. I'd never seen that before in a video game.
You do get some cars to pass, so there are some graphical touches, although fans of crashing will be a little bit disappointed. Rally Geeks will be pleased to see it's based around actual events, and there's also a quiz element to test your knowledge.
Oh, I forgot about the quiz.
Challenging Lombard RAC Rally
Ooh, Toyota
is our next
Celica?
contender, Toyota Celica GT Rally. It's got the same in-car view, but the graphics are much more refined, with a better feeling of speed. And yes, the crashes have been improved too.
He just wants to crash. This is just a review of the best crashing game.
You also get weather effects with working windscreen
It is
wipers,
nice,
and a real feeling that when you slide the car around corners, you're having to control it properly.
Right, then hard right.
A nice touch here is you can play it being co-driver too, viewing the course in advance to put your own notes in of where to brake. That can lead to some hilarious consequences.
Easy right, easy right, easy right, easy
He's
right.
the shaman.
So, what is the Top Gear verdict? Well, you're probably better off just buying a PC or something.
Oh, yes, I remember this Network Q Rally Championship. Hang on, that's my computer. That's my computer, Pillar. And that's the end. Look, we cannot let Pillock get away with this.
Rallying is the second most fun way of getting dirty in the woods. But can you get that same thrill at home? Let's find out.
Let's find out. Right. Thank you, Pillock. That was a tremendous effort. A great choice of rally games without choosing Sega Rally, which I enjoyed. Lombard Rally, my brother and I used to just do time trials and see who could get round the quickest. Fond memories of that. And that was a time when rally was on terrestrial television a lot. It was much more popular than it is now, at least in the UK. And then what do we have? We had Toyota Celica. I don't remember it being as smooth as you showed it in your video. I think that might be one of your accelerated Amigas, perhaps. Jim, sliding into the chat there with Lombard Rally, was one of the first DOS games I ever cracked. Jim. He's a filthy pirate. And then we had... Oh, that was it. And then at the end we had Network Q Rally Championship, which was pretty good. Nobody picked Nitro, says Russell. There were a lot of games that weren't picked. Right, this last one. Are we past the watershed? Yeah, I think we're past the watershed. Let's see what Chris has got for us. I wonder what Chris has got for us. Warning, he is an Australian.
Fast as you can. Just get that wiggling. There you go. Nice and that's it. That's it. Nearly there.
Go on, Chris.
Nearly there. Yep. Nearly. Get a bit sweaty. Nearly there. Oh.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Yes! Yes!
Yes, I've come first on racing game Super Test. So that was the cycling bit of Super Test. What did you think I was doing? The hell?
Chris, come on, man. We're not that kind of show. You just can't trust them, can you? You can't trust those Aussies. This is a family show, Chris. Honestly. So that rounds off our videos. Yeah, we didn't want more than 90 seconds of that. So, in the chat, any games that were excluded? Someone mentioned Nitro. I've written down here Carmageddon. Nobody chose Carmageddon. Nobody chose actual Sega Rally. Ferrari F355 Challenge got a mention, but nobody chose that. Nobody chose Outrun, apart from me. I chose Outrun. Nobody chose Supercars, yeah. What other classics were in there that weren't in there? Revolt, yes. Loved Revolt. Stunt Car Racer, didn't get the coverage, no. Chase HQ, good shout. Vroom. Wreck Le Mans, Need for Speed. Oh, all of the Need for Speeds. I guess I had Need for Speed Porsche. No, Paperboy doesn't count. Gran Turismo. Big Red Racing. Paris Dakar Rally, says David. Jaguar XJ220. We should have had that for the music. Yeah, Chase HQ counts. Lego Racers. Continental Circus Power Drift. Power Drift was great. Iron Man Stewart, yeah. Burning Rubber. Revs. Yeah, Revs would be the ideal one if we're talking about Jeff Crammond games. Super Monaco. Star Wars Pod Racer. Pod, the brownest racing game ever made. Moto Racer. What about Midtown Madness? I played that to death. Death Chase. Yeah, you can have that. Rock and Roll Racing. APB. I loved APB. Colin McRae. Yeah, Colin McRae. Road Rash, Spy Hunter, Quarantine. That was basically Doom in a taxi cab. Yeah, we had skid marks. MSR, yeah. I guess if you're going a bit newer, Project Gotham Racing, I liked. Quake Rally? Streets of SimCity, you're getting silly now. Oh, RoboJohn said Project Gotham. Hang on. Virtua Racer, yeah. We could just shout out racing games all night. Crazy Cars, there's so many. Moonshine Racers. Motocross Madness. Oh yeah, Driver 2. Retro Recollections covers. And we also talked about this in the podcast. The fact that Driver 2 has been reverse engineered from the PS2 into a PC game now because the PC owners got Driver 1 and 3, but we never got Driver 2. Now you can. Enduro Racer. I never could time the handlebars for the jumps. Action Biker. Mario Kart. Yeah. Space Taxi. Pilot Wings. You're getting silly now. Right. Let's unbox this. And, actually, I'll just mention this quickly because we are going to run out of time. We're hitting the 2 hours now. I just wanted to mention, we won't read the review, but Outrun on my beloved Amstrad CPC. And this was typical of most of the 8-bits. These are the magazine scores that it got in the Amstrad magazines. 20%, 35%, 37%, 35%, 10%, 20%. All fair scores, I think. And actually, probably only scored that highly because if you bought the premium version when it came out, the £10 version, you got a second cassette with the game music on. That was kind of worth it. The game was shocking. Title screen's quite nice. Check the Amiga scores for Outrun. I don't know if I can I get that on this website? Video games. Outrun Amiga. Just Outrun. There it is. A little bit better. Highest being 82%, ludicrous. Lowest being 41% in Zap. French magazine Tilt gave it 80%. think there's a lot of wishful thinking in there, to be honest. This is it in the Amiga. I just felt the whole angle of the game was wrong. You were too far behind and not. There was a bit more of an angle in the arcade. It just felt like a different game. Nightbot, there's no calendars left. Why are you telling? And that's the old Etsy store. Just ignore Nightbot. Nightbot's talking rubbish. Hi, Reese. Right, let's do this unboxing. I'm just going to move the camera and change the scene so you can see. That one? Okay. You can see the cave is getting boxed up. Just unplug you briefly. Okay, that was fun. Right, a quick unboxing of this gigantic box over here. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat while I do it. And this literally arrived 2 hours before the stream. Very well packaged. What have we got? Ooh, you'll like this pillock. First thing to come out of the box is an Amiga 500 Plus. This has come from Gary. Thank you to Gary. And no, the battery hasn't leaked. It's got some incredible specs. I think this one might have a Witcher 508 in it. It's fully specced out. It's a nice colour as well. It's still got the thing on the badge. You don't want to peel it off. It's there. Right, let's put that safely out of the way. It's not an Atari ST. Next we have this, and it is this in the box. It's a BenQ or Benk monitor, 17-inch, that actually supports 15 kilohertz, so you can just use it natively on an Amiga or lots of other micros. Really useful thing to have. That's the thing. Next in the box it's another Amiga. This one a little dirtier, but again working, so I'm told. And this is not a Plus, this is a regular 0500. Yeah, he's struggling to hear me. Is that better, Dave? I can turn it up. Better? It's going to be a bit echoey, I'm afraid. No chicken lips on this one, no. Put that one safely out the way. And then I'm just going to tilt the box so you can see what's in it. So you know that monitor that 15 kilohertz supporting monitor. There's 4 more in there. And they're all in there. Oh, there's something else down there. Oh, guess what? It's a monitor. So I now have 6 monitors that support 15 kilohertz, and this is going to be incredibly useful for the new cave, because I want to have an exhibition space where you guys can come and play these machines. Yes, it's great to have a CRT, but CRTs break. You know, they take a lot of maintenance. So this is the next best thing for a lot of them, and also really useful to have in the lab, in the workshop for testing. So, what's the model number? Let me tell you. So, huge thank you to Gary who sent this in. So this is a Benk BL Bravo Lima 702A for Alpha. October 2013. So BL 702A it says on the back, but actually on the sticker it says BL 702-BA, as in a pity the fool. I triple check that you know, it does support 15 kilohertz. These ones I'm told do, but sometimes even the same model, some do and some don't. You've got to get a certain, you know, serial number or a certain manufacture date on some monitors, but I think these ones are good. So that is a hell of a donation from Gary. He did explain to me why he had to get rid of them. Sadly, because he loved these things, he just didn't have time to get the most out of them. And there is another box from him. Let's just open this. This is the last box. These are the ancillaries to go with the Amiga. So we've got a couple of power supplies. One incredibly light power supply, one really heavy one. So I'm guessing the lighter one is the 500 plus. What else have we got? What is this? What is this? This is a box of VGA cables. We've got 68,000 CPU in there because one of them has been upgraded with a faster CPU. With a CIA relocator or something there. Not sure what that's for. A converter to go from the DB23 to the VGA cable to use with the monitors. Useful. The world's worst fake Sega Mega Drive control pad. I reviewed that once on April Fool's Day and then pulled the video the next day. The buttons kept falling off of it. This is cool. There's a mini AV to HDMI upscaler. Wonder how that goes. 720p or 1080p option on there. Interesting. Sorry, chat, I'm neglecting you. I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. Just a random GoTech in there, as if Gary hasn't already been generous enough. GoTech. There's a USB stick. There's a Workbench 314. So that means one of the machines has got a Workbench 314 ROM in it, if not both. And then Workbench 1.32. And Excel database. Just some random... Hello. Woman card set. From Saddle Tramps PD. Dirty Mike and the Boys, public domain. Yeah, David, well spotted. It looks like the floppies are in LTO tape cases. Right, let's see what else is in here. This is such a treat. I think you all know how much I love Amigas. This is like my dream Christmas present. Oh, look at that! I don't know if that's the complete set, but it's those. There we go. The arcade action set of games for the Amiga. They're all numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's 10 in the set, isn't there? The Astra Pack. And then that is some kind of packing version of Captain Planet, because I've got the full-sized box version, so that's fun. That must have been with the 500 Plus. I think there was a pack with Captain Planet in. And little mini lemmings. That's kind of cute. And a little Bart versus the Space Mutants. So was that the Cartoon Capers? Was that? Or Cartoon Classics? I think that's what that was. Yeah, Cartoon Classics 500 Plus. That clears that up. Thank you, Blockulator. And then one final box. Okay, we got the mice. We got the manuals. 500 and 500 Plus manuals. A yellow mouse and a grey mouse. Got the Pack-In Deluxe Paint 3. The TV modulator manual. The RAM expansion manual. And a big box version of Pen Pal. Pen Pal, I didn't ever have to use this on the Amiga. I do remember that monkey image for some reason. Is that from Deluxe Paint? Has that been put into a document on Pen Pal? Word processor for the Amiga. So this just goes to show, guys, it's not all about the games. It's not all about Lotus. Carefully put this all back, because this all needs to be taped back up to go to the new cave. Let's get back to the chat. Let's put you back over here. Oof. Let's turn that down. Did I leave you with no music, or has the music just ended? I think I left you with no music. Anyway, is that okay? Can you... Am I super loud now? Oh, there is music. Hello, Ralph. You've arrived just in time. Packing is ongoing, Ralph. Packing is ongoing. So, a huge thank you to Gary for that treasure trove. To everyone else who's sent stuff in. You don't hear me? You do hear me. I'm not muted. Stop that. I know I'm not muted. I know you can hear me. Thank you to Riot Retro Gaming for their lovely yellow t-shirt. And thank you to you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We ran a little bit over, 15 minutes over. I tried to keep it to 2 hours. I know you're all busy people. And this is the last live show from this cave. Next time you see me, we will either be in my house for a Christmas special. We'll maybe do well, I won't say maybe, we will do a Christmas quiz. The Christmas quiz only works on Twitch because I've got to use the add-in for the Twitch stream. Mark Central, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Best of luck in the new cave. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to put together a video. I'm going to try and keep the Thursday releases coming for you or through December. But I might get a little bit out of sync, and those releases from now until I take a break for Christmas are really going to be vlogs. They're going to be vlogs about moving to the cave, the new cave. I'll give you the full tour. I'll show you it. And then I'll take a week for Christmas just to recharge the batteries because I am shattered after the Kickstarter. I'm going to be even more shattered after the move. And I've got some just wonderful plans and ideas for the new cave to share with you. I'll break your minds. I'll blow your minds if I tell you everything that's happening in 2021 right now. But just come on the journey with me. It's going to be Is the new cave bigger? It's about 6 to 8 times bigger. It's huge. Russell, thank you so much. Very kind of you. And you are all formally invited to the new cave just as soon as it's set up. We've got enough monitors now. That's everything. So if you want to join me on a raid, we are going to do a raid. It's a weird raid because we're going from YouTube to Twitch, and I'll show you where we're going if you want to join me, because it will really make his day. Here we go. In fact, I'll put a link in the chat. And I'll check that this is actually working. Let's get you on the laptop. So what I'd really love to do, if you'd like to join me, is go to twitch.tv /Mean Machine Dean. Is he streaming? Channel is for mature audiences. Yes, he is streaming. Wonderful. So there it is in the chat. I'm going to end this stream. Join me in giving Mean Machine Dean a big hug. Thank you to everyone for coming on the stream today, and I'll see you over in his stream. Who are we tickling? Who are you tickling? And yeah, see you on Mean Machine Dean's stream. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Air horn and
RMC out. Bye-bye. He's waving. He's waving, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you in Dean's stream. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.